Makakapanayam natin ngayong gabi si Sir Gab Billones, ang founder at president ng Break the Fake Movement. Ayan, at syempre makikita naman din natin virtually si Sir Pio Silva, isang educator at content creator. Hello po sa inyo and welcome to our studio. Ayan.
Hello everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to invite me here in the program.
Ayan, and that was Sir Gab Billones. Hi, Sir Pio!
Hello po.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Ayan, okay. So, syempre, simulan na natin agad, no? Ito, mainit na usapan to. Lagi natin itong binabanggit, even on social media, at marami nag-aaway tungkol dito, no? Una po sa lahat, ano po ba ang inyong masasabi sa pagdami ng fake news, lalo na daw sa social media? What do you think is the root cause about this problem? Yeah. Simulan natin kay Sir Gab.
Sige. Ang issue ng fake news ay hindi bago, no? Nag-stimula to nung mga World War II propaganda warfare pa to. Pero lately lang natin na-experience yung changes na ginagamit din siya as political propaganda, or it can be like to instill social stigma or to instill public fear. So marami ng evolution sa fake news. Dati talagang military warfare tactic lang siya. Dahil dito, mahirap tukuyin yung original root causes kung bakit naging wildfire yung spread ng fake news. And largely it's because madami na ding motives ang mga tao ngayon. Part doon is yung decentralization ng access to media. Dati sobrang centralized ng access natin to media, but now the publishing of media itself was democratized. Ngayon, hindi ka na lang consumer ng media. You also become media publisher. You become, to a certain extent, publisher ka dahil source of truth ka na din ng mga neighbors mo. So ngayon, dahil sa shift ng media consumption, media publishing, to a certain extent, we're bearing the brunt of the effects of that evolution, and dito nag-experience tayo ng fake news.
Right. Thanks, Sir Gab. Sir Pio, ikaw naman, meron ka bang masasabi on what is possibly the root cause, or in your words, ano nga ba ang masasabi mo regarding sa pagdami nito ngayon?
Right. I think right now we have become representatives of a different echo chambers that create misinformation and distort perspectives. And before, that was only centralized in only a few of the elite. But then now we have become ourselves individually. We have been able to defeat the opportunity to even engage with different questioning with other people, because other people have different opinions. We have the power to also disregard it. We have the power to also outright silence them. And so in one way or another, we are affected by groups that we surround ourselves with. And that's what also gives us the engagement to make sure that there are other opinions that we can not propagate, but only ours is right. And that also goes with the fact that there is an existing amount of confirmation bias in our society today, which is isa po itong cognitive bias where we seek out information to prove that what we already know to be true is true.
Right.
And the more that we not only know it ourselves, but we also get to also spread it to different people. And that's what also creates the cycle of fake news and of disinformation.
Yeah, we agree, Sir Pio, no? Pero for Sir Gab, si Sir Gab ay kapangalan ko. Sir,
Yes.
talagang pogi ang mga
Noted.
Gab, Sir.
Oo.
Sir, kayo ang founder ng Break the Fake Movement, di ba? And Trisha, Gina, Iskoolmates, napaka-importante ng mga organisasyong kagaya niyan that promotes critical thinking to combat fake news, no? Sir Gab, paano nabuo ang Break the Fake? What was the purpose in forming the organization?
Okay. So originally, it started in 2017, where a group of 10 people, we joined a certain media literacy workshop, and doon namin nalaman yung extent ng Philippine media landscape shift. At saka yung talagang evolution of the democratization of media. Dahil doon sa bago naming awareness, kasi ito yung programa na nilaunch ng CMFR, ng USAID at saka ng US Embassy, doon namin nalaman na hindi tayo pwedeng mag-advocate lang for silence. Kasi kung nakikita mo na merong problema right in front of you and you can be an agent of change, we need to step up and really take on the challenge of informing, educating, and really making sure that we create an environment where democracy is celebrated and we make informed decisions based on truthful facts alone.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right, no, sir. Very timely to dahil nabanggit nyo nga po na noon pa lamang ay talamak na ang fake
Yeah.
news. At lalo na ngayon sa panahon natin, nung nagkaroon ng pandemic na talagang social media lamang po ang pinag-uugatan ng impormasyon ng halos lahat ng majority ng population ng ating mga ka-schoolmates. Ano?
Correct.
Kay Sir Pio naman po tayo. No? In relation po sa nabanggit kanina ni Sir Gab na yun nga po yung intention nila kaya nabuo ang kanilang grupo. Kayo po sir, as a content creator, ano po kaya yung nako-contribute ninyo in order to combat yung spread ng fake news? Paano nyo po nasisigurado na you're stating facts and nagagamit nyo po ito to motivate your audience?
Right. I mean, as a content creator, we have to bear the responsibility and accountability to really figure out that alam naman natin we can't do a 6-second Google search on just what we want to say because we affect hundreds of thousands of people. We affect, if not hundreds, right? And so alam naman natin that as our audience grows, we need to make sure that our content really is relevant to the current issues that they stand for and what is relatable to them, yeah. But also at the same time, we need to make sure that our content does not affect them in some way. In my case, I do a lot of short form content on TikTok about, spirituality, religion, and we know that for short form content, for spliced content, it's easy to consume and quick for us to digest and useful siya in a way to learn effectively or efficiently. Pero yung tanong ay, how willing are we to consume the depth of that information? Like, we can have basic knowledge, pwede tayong maging enthusiast, but we can also learn how to become the experts ourselves, or we seek the experts because we have to also know that there are times when we just don't know the answer. And if we don't know, then we have to be humble enough to seek other people who can provide us with that information. It's not that we ourselves are the ones who only propagate the info, but we also are the mouthpiece, kumbaga. And we get to also ask other people for help because we content creators are a community. We don't stand alone from each other and we are not also just mainly individually working behind the scenes. We need to also come as a group.
Right. Thanks, Sir Pio. So, ito medyo nagfi-fixate ako, guys, dun sa term natin kanina na dis at malinformation, no? So, let's laser focus on that. I want to hear muna siguro kay Sir Pio. Of course, Sir Gab, I'll follow up on the question later, no? Paano nyo, in your case as a content creator and of course you as leads of a certain organization, paano nyo nasisigurado na hindi binabaliktad or kumbaga iniiba yung sinasabi ninyo na ginagamit ng iba para kumbaga i-deface kayo or kumbaga mas mag-spread pa ng false information sa mga sinishare ninyo in your various platforms in a rather negative way. So simulan muna natin kay Sir Pio.
Right, that's a good question, Trisha. With regards to how I, in particular, make sure that what I deliver to my audience is not in a way to distort certain perspectives or kumbaga to just turn them to some direction that is flawed or wrong in a way, I always make sure to keep my message simple and in a way there is no growing threat to how I research or there's no issue in how I perceive it. It's all about what comes out as the good that comes out of it instead of just focusing on what the fears are because when you are able to manipulate and when you are able to give out that fear to people, it creates a trigger in them. And with the way that you give out fear to people, it feeds them something that they can be worried about. And when they are worried about something, it directs them to something or to someone that they think that that is the enemy. And they think that that is the main cause, when it's not even the main cause. So it's a very lengthy process for other, I guess, more educational institutions on how they institute this and how they, the institutional active measures that they put for it. But I, as a content creator, it's more of keeping the message in a way it's persuasive, but at the same time, it does not give out any fallacy or any flaw to make sure that my audience will also understand what I'm saying totally. A 1-minute video, even if it's just talking about something that I saw on the news or something that's controversial, it's not in any way trying to pull them down. It's more of trying to always uplift up and seeing the real issues that stand by.
Right. Thanks, Sir Pio. Sir Gab, meron bang instance na ganun din yung na-experience nyo and how did you combat?
Yeah, alam mo, uso ngayon ang smart shaming, di ba? Cancel culture. Pero hindi naman namin na-experience yun as NGO workers, development workers. Siguro, you have to be very clear. Just wanna piggyback on what Pio said, no? You have to be very intentional with what you're launching in digital media. So what you can afford to say offline, you should be able to say it online. So vis-a-vis, the same case scenario. Ang akin lang, when you try to launch programs, for example, you have to make sure that you're very tight-knit to your intentions, to your purpose. Kasi kami naman, as coming from the NGO perspective, we're not trying to destabilize anything. It's more of like saying that in an environment where there are facts and there are false news information, where would you rather be, right? Would you rather create decisions based on false information, or would you rather make decisions based on the truth? So, try to compare the two models and see where would you rather be? Where would you rather have your future generations be? So, ganun naman ang sa amin. Just stick to the facts. Try to celebrate the fact that there's diversity of perspectives. It's an online community. And do not try to cancel or to try to intimidate someone's opinion. Kasi regardless of how you think small that idea is, there still is a value why that person is coming from that perspective. Ganun kami always.